Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Narayanaaya. Hare Ram Krishna. Hare Ram Krishna. Hare Ram Krishna. Today I am going to talk about the transit of Saturn in Pisces and how does this transit of Saturn affects the people who are running certain Mahadasha. In fact, I am going to talk about all the Mahadashas, all the 9 Mahadashas of all the 9 planets, and how the transit of Saturn in Pisces is going to affect their lives, what results they will get maximum, and to which Mahadasha Lord the result will diminish. And for this, we will use the technique that I am going to explain, that is based on the transit of Saturn with respect to the houses which are friendly or enemy to the Mahadasha Lord. Before that, let's make a note of when this transit is going to happen. So Saturn is going to transit to Pisces on 20th March 2025. It is going to stay there for roughly around 2.5 years, and it will exit in May 2027. And for these 2.5 years, we will see that how the Mahadasha Lord, people running various Mahadasha in Vimshotri Dasha, how it is going to affect them. So the technique that we are going to use is basically that the Mahadasha Lord is actually like Sun in your chart. Okay, because Mahadasha Lord represents the long-term vision, the long-term goal, the long-term aspiration that your Atma, that your soul wants to manifest. And that manifestation happens with the combination of sun and the moon. Okay, sun is like father and moon is like mother, and when they meet, the new birth happens. So with the sun, we have to look with respect to Saturn. Now see why Saturn is important. So you should this is the a typical technique which is used mainly in transit, that Saturn and moon, they work in a similar fashion, and Jupiter and Sun, they work in a similar fashion. Okay, so whenever we have to see that what happens in these 2.5 days, then we see the transit of moon. Whenever we want to see what happens in this 1 year, we see the transit of Jupiter. If you want to see what happens during the transit of 1 month, then you will see the transit of Sun. This Saturn transit is for 2.5 years, so it is pretty long term. Okay, and Saturn and moon, they are similar, so we have to see them with respect to the Mahadasha Lord, which is like sun. So what we'll do is that the technique over here is we have to see which signs are inimical to Mahadasha Lord and which signs are exaltation, debilitation, neutral to it, and based on the transition which is happening, that like if it is happening from neutral to friendly, that means it is good, so all the good results is going to increase, all the bad results is going to diminish, so it's a good transit. So applying this technique, we will judge what will happen to each and every Mahadasha Lord. Okay, so let's first of all determine what is the extent of result that it is currently getting. Okay, so for that we have graded all the houses for the Mahadasha Lord. So if the Mahadasha Lord is there in the debilitation, in the debilitated sign or in the inimical sign, then the result it will get is 0. Okay, it is like being surrounded by all the enemies or in the house of enemy. So it won't be able to manifest much result during this time. So it is 0 result when it is in the enemy sign or when it is in the debilitation sign. When it is in the neutral sign, then it will give 12% result. Okay, neutral sign, so it is neither very excited, it is neither too diminished, so it will give some slightly some result. Okay, it will be 12%. When it is in the friendly sign, it is in the house of a friend, then it will give 25% result. And when it is in its own sign, it will give 50% result. And when it is there in the Mool Trikona, then it will give 75% result. And finally, it will give 100% result when it is in the exaltation sign. So, based on this, we can judge like if the Mahadasha Lord, if the Saturn is going to move from the sign which is, let's say, in the debility of that Mahadasha Lord and to the exaltation, then in that case, it will be like 100% result. So from 0 result to 100% result it will give. And likewise the other way around, if it is moving from, let's say, friendly house to inimical house, then in that case it will be negative result. So whatever, so when I say negative, it means if he was getting good results of that Mahadasha, it will become negative. If he was whatever negative results he was getting, that will be diminished. Good is going to diminish and bad is also going to diminish. If it is good, the bad is going to diminish. If it is bad, then good is going to diminish. Okay. Exact result I am not going to tell, because the Mahadasha Lord, that will depend totally on the Mahadasha and Antardasha and what have been running and where it is located actually in your natal chart. Okay, but using just this transit, you can see suddenly, oh, why suddenly this thing happened. Okay, why suddenly he was getting good result and suddenly what happened with the Saturn transit. So this is quickly you can judge. And just like I do for all other videos, I have made a ranking of all the results. So we'll start from the worst and go to the best one. Okay, so let's go to the worst one. Okay, so at the ninth number is Saturn, and Saturn is going to move from Aquarius to Pisces. So for Saturn Mahadasha, for people who are running Saturn Mahadasha, they are going to experience the worst result. Why worst? See, Saturn was there in the own sign. It was giving the 75% result. Sorry, Saturn was there in the Mool Trikona sign. Aquarius was Mool Trikona, but it was getting 75% result. Now it is going to move to neutral sign. So from 75%, it is going to diminish to 12%. So it is the worst reduction. So that's why the good results of Saturn will diminish. The bad results will increase because of this reduction. And that's why I've kept it at the ninth rank. Next in the line is Rahu. So Rahu's own sign is Aquarius, and being in the own sign, it was giving 50% result, but now it will move to neutral house. So the reduction is from 50 to 12, which is bad, but not as bad as Saturn. Then Mercury. So Mercury was there in the friendly house. It was getting from, it was giving 12% result because it was in the friendly house. Sorry, I made a mistake. So being in the friend's house, it was giving, sorry, Mercury is neutral to Saturn, so it will give 12 result in the friendly house, but being in, now it will move to debilitation, so it is going to give 0 result. So the extent of reduction is 12 units. So it is bad, but not as bad as Saturn and Rahu. So for Mercury also it is going to be bad, but I've kept it as 7th rank because the extent is lower. Then the moon sign. So for moon, Aquarius and Pisces, Saturn, Jupiter both are neutral, so there is no reduction. So as such, you will, for moon Mahadasha people, there will not be any significant change in the result from the perspective of moon. Then on the 5th is Mars. So Mars was there in the neutral house, and now it is moving to the friend house because Pisces, Jupiter is friend of Mars, and Saturn was neutral. So from 12 to 25. So there is increase of 12%. So it will be a good transit for Mars Mahadasha people. They will see good enhancement of good results and reduction in the bad result. Then on the 4th rank is Sun. So Sun was there for Sun Mahadasha people. Aquarius was like die hard enemy, and Jupiter is like very good friend. So from enemy to friend, suddenly you'll see that Sun Mahadasha people will see extent of very good result during this time. So from enemy 0 to 25, which is friend. So 25% increase in the result, 25 units increase in the result. So Sun will be at the 4th rank. And then coming to Jupiter, so for Jupiter it was neutral house, and now it is moving to the um, now it is moving to the own house, which is 50. So from 12 to 50, which is quite good increase, so that's why I put at the 3rd rank. Then Ketu's mole trikona is Pisces. It was there in the friend's house. Friend was giving 25% result, and now with the mole trikona, it is giving 75% result. So 50 units increase. So it is going to be very good for Ketu people, for people running in Ketu Mahadasha. And finally, Venus exaltation sign is Pisces. So in Venus Mahadasha, people will get 100% result of Venus during this time. So it is going to be a good result because bad things will diminish, good thing will increase, and 100% result of Venus is going to be there. And earlier Venus was in the friend's house, so it was giving 25 units of result. So from 25 to 100, which is a significant jump, so it is going to be all good for Venus people. So that's all the ranking of all the Mahadasha results. I hope you liked it. Thank you very much. Om Namo Narayana.